What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good day, and I hope you're having a good week as always. I wanted to come live for a few minutes today to talk about what happened in Denver. There was a security guard that was hired by one of the television stations that ended up killing one of the people at the protest, and it's been quite the spectacle, at least that I've seen. I think the news is covering it pretty poorly, as they usually do, but some are doing a good job, I guess, some better than others. So I wanted to weigh in on it. I talked about it a little bit today, and usually when I text about it, it gets misconstrued, so I'd rather speak about it. It usually gets less misconstrued, so we'll do that for a few minutes. I'll wait till everybody comes in. What's going on? Samantha, Ann. I'm going to just post this stuff real quick. I'm not going to pin it because I want to see your comments, but here's all my links, and I want to let you guys know, too, it's my birthday in 2 hours, so I'm actually going to turn 31 in 2 hours. If you haven't seen a lot of my stuff recently, I've been visiting my family. Today I got to visit my grandma. She's not doing so well, but in some cases she's in good spirits. So I've taken a few weeks out to visit my family and do important stuff. So I apologize for not having as many videos and live streams as usual. All is well, better than ever, I would say, doing the important stuff. So I appreciate you guys who are understanding of that, because I work very hard, in some cases harder than most, in other cases not as hard as some people, but I do try to be consistent, and I like to work, so I usually don't take off. So I had 2 weeks to really visit fam. Just want to let you guys know, and here I am. We'll talk about it. Let's see. Sally, thank you. I appreciate you. Who else we got? Rodrigo Ortiz said, I must ask you a question. Burns, think you'll shave it for labor? Bro, there's too many puns in that one, my man. You hit me with like a 3-pun sentence. It just went way over my head, like a razor. Caroline said, I'm looking forward to your take on this. My take was very unpopular on Twitter, so hopefully it goes over better on here, because sometimes I say things and people don't like it, but I don't really care. I guess I don't think they were really listening. All right, I'm going to read this before I start, because this is why the lives are good. We get some intel. Shelly Fradkin said, I am from Denver and part of the Patriot group who attended the protest. I wasn't there, but I am well informed about the details around the shooting. All right, Shelly, you let me know in the comment section, and I'm going to say my piece. I'll say what I know, and we'll move forward. All right, let's start it up. So the other day, I don't know if you guys heard, because unfortunately, right off the bat, the media is really biased, and I would say they're everything that President Trump says they are and more. When something happens at a right-wing protest and some right-winger does something, even if nobody knows who the guy is, even if it wasn't even really what happened, they blame everybody and their mama. They blame Trump. They blame Mitch McConnell. They blame, I don't even know. They probably even blame Newt Gingrich. It's like they don't hold the same standards. So it's like they talk about Charlottesville still to this day. Meanwhile, they have people with left-wing affiliation that are burning down major cities, and no one seems to care. They call it a mostly peaceful protest, and Michelle Obama comes on television to shame you if you don't want that to come to your neighborhood or whatever. So there isn't an equal playing field right off the bat. So, we've had tragedies that happen from left-wing people. It's just not covered the same. So you're not going to hear about this because they cover this stuff up and end up being like a PR team when it happens. So I want to not rush to conclusions, because I said some stuff on Twitter. I mean what I said, and I'm going to say it again. But as far as what happened, the sequence, etc., as things progress, you get more video footage, you get more information. Like with George Floyd, everybody burned down their neighborhood, and then a month later, you see the security cam footage. He's on fentanyl. He's so high. He's like, put me on the ground. It's not what people thought it was. Neither was Jacob Blake. Neither was Breonna Taylor. Everyone likes to rush to conclusions, and, it's usually best to wait for more information. But as far as what I do have, I'm going to read some stuff and then let you know my take on all sides. It looks like it's from 9 News, if I'm not mistaken. That's the name of the news company. And tonight, this is kind of somewhat breaking. The city of Denver, Matthew Doloff, was not licensed to be a security guard, CBS Denver is reporting. So the news network hired a security guard, and that security guard ended up killing somebody in the Patriot Trump group. And it looks like CBS is now claiming he wasn't licensed to be a security guard. We'll see. Once again, I don't know. This is CBS reporting, but it seems like they're just hiring people to be security because they know these skirmishes are bad. From what I've been reading, you had the Patriot, whatever it was called, the Mustard Patriots or something. And then you had the BLM Antifa soup drive. to me, it just sounds like somebody's going to die. And I don't wish death on anyone. God bless this guy and his family. But when you have BLM and Antifa doing a protest, and then you have the Trump supporters doing a protest, it's one of these clashes where it ends up being like a pissing contest where people start yelling at each other, macing each other, hitting each other. And it's just a bad vibe. I think most people that watch my video, they don't want to go to these things. It's like, I'm not afraid to speak my mind. I'm not afraid to defend myself. But it's like, would I want to go stand in the middle of a highway for George Floyd? Of course not. Standing on a highway is stupid. Standing on a highway at night is even more stupid. Blocking traffic is domestic terrorism, and attending an event where there's going to be a clash of the two sides sounds like a dangerous event. It's not fun to go to. That's why I avoid them. But some people love it. They like to get in the mix, and that's what happened here. And it looks like, the news network is going to be in some trouble if they hired somebody that wasn't a real security guard and they ended up killing someone. I'm going to leave that to the courts. But I'm going to tell you what I think. Right off the jump, from what I've seen, I don't want to overstate it because there's going to be more footage, but I see the guy, he sprays Mace, you know what I'm saying? There's some sort of skirmish, he reaches for something, he slaps him, he sprays him, he shoots him. We don't know in what context it really happened, I'm not quite sure. But what I was saying on Twitter, and people got upset, but what I was like, why would you mace somebody with a gun? I'm just going to say it. Just because it's a Trump supporter, God bless the guy's soul, I don't think he deserved to die. But if you go to a BLM Trump clash and you're fighting with people and you hit them and they hit you and then you mace them and they pull out a gun, to me, these are just the things that happen. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. The courts will decide. Maybe this guy goes to jail, but at the end of the day, if this guy goes to jail and then someone else is dead, does it matter if the guy goes to jail? I mean, you could say justice is served, but at the end of the day, we don't want people to die. So to me, in ways, and I know this might make people upset, but it reminds me of walking in a crosswalk. When I was growing up, you have the right of way. If somebody hits you in a crosswalk and you die, they might go to jail. They're not supposed to hit you if you have the right of way, but I almost died twice in a crosswalk, but I pay attention because I know that even though that things are supposed to go this way, life is not fair and things don't always go that way and people make mistakes, especially while driving. So, you should pay attention in a crosswalk. And to me, it's kind of the same thing as the bear mace to the gun. I don't know in what context they happen, but the arguments I've been seeing on Twitter, now that I've told you everything, I think the media needs to be looked at. I think, the left wing has more favor in the media than the right wing, so they're not going to get the same shake that you would have. With all that being said, though, I've heard a lot of the arguments from right wingers, and to me it's just piss poor. I'm not trying to be rude, but they're like, well, he sprayed bear mace and, the gun, he shouldn't have shot him when he sprayed bear mace. But it's like, are we going to lie to ourselves and act like, would you go to an Antifa BLM rally and spray somebody with bear mace that had a gun? And they're like, well, he sprayed it first or he sprayed it after the guy. It's like, this is all bad, guys. I mean, if you want to live, you don't go to one of these clashes and spray somebody that may or may not have a gun, whether they have a gun or not. Like, what, you're looking for trouble. And at the end of the day, there's right-wingers looking for trouble, and there's left-wingers looking for trouble, and they find trouble. It's like, if you block a road, you're not supposed to get hit, but in some ways you kind of are, because it's domestic terrorism. You're blocking a road. If somebody hits you, I don't feel bad for you. All the right-wingers or the left-wingers scream and cry victim when they get hit in the road, and, it's like, what do you expect? So, from what I've seen, once again, I don't know the context of everything, but when you spray somebody and they shoot you, it's like, what do you expect? And then they're like, but he shouldn't have done it. It's like, well, of course. But it's like Nancy Pelosi shouldn't lie every day. CNN shouldn't be horrible news. They shouldn't treat the president like that. They shouldn't be burning down police stations. There's a lot of things that shouldn't be going on in this country. People shouldn't speed. But the reality is people do this stuff every day. So either you're going to live in this oblivion where you're going to walk around macing people at BLM prayer rallies and expect nothing to happen, or you use your brain and common sense like most people and say, you know what, if I don't want to die, I'm not going to do that. Is the shooter in the wrong? Probably. Is the news network complicit? Quite possibly. Are they going to get charged? Maybe. But does that bring that guy's life back? I don't think so. And I just have to call it like I see it. I think the right-wing arguments are kind of weak. They're like, well, he came to the rally, seeking, it's like, to me, sounds like exactly what left-wingers were trying to say is what happened in Wisconsin with that kid. And I know that they're different situations and we need full context, but I start to see, the partisanness come out of people when stuff like this happens because The left wing does not care what really happened. They don't care what happened to George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, they're willing to give them an interview. Vice is going to make them look like a hero. It's partisan over anything. If you flip the roles and flip the politics, you'd have Vice taking the exact other stance. And in my personal perspective, I think that that's kind of what's happening here. I think if you reverse the roles and the guy that shot the guy who maced him was a Trump supporter, I think you'd have 90% of Trump supporters saying, well, he had the right to shoot him. And now I'm seeing a lot of arguments where people say, he didn't have the right to shoot him because mace is not a deadly object. Technically, maybe by legality, yeah, you're not allowed to shoot somebody who has mace. But if you go to one of these rallies and you mace somebody with a gun, to me, it's not that surprising that you get shot. I don't know. I guess I could act like I'm shocked or surprised, or we could talk about what could happen. But I think this is, a little bit silly. And I would, I'm going to read this real quick. I'm going to just go with the comments because this reminds me of Twitter. He said, Lee used Mace as self-defense. The guy's gun was already drawn. Here's the thing, Chris. I hear you, but if someone has a gun and they point a gun at you and you use Mace as self-defense, what is that going to accomplish except get you shot? That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. Many people don't. You could even say a majority of people don't, but mace is not a proper weapon to defend against a gun. If you mace somebody with a gun and you get shot, what do you think is going to happen? And then people say, well, he wasn't supposed to shoot him with the mace. You don't show up to a gunfight with a mace bottle. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand the logic here. Like, people start acting like it should be equality. They're like, well, just because he did that doesn't mean he should escalate it. To me, it reminds me of a fight. I don't get in fights. I don't get in arguments. That's why I don't go to these things. I'm not going to be like Andy No. No offense. God bless Andy No. He does good work. I'm not going to get dumped on and just walk away. That's not going to happen. Like, I'm going to defend myself, so I don't go because I don't want to get in a McCloskey situation if I don't have to. So I don't go to these things. But here's the thing. If something happens, I'm not looking to equal the force. Like, that's not, when you're in a skirmish, he hits you, you bring out this, he brings out this. It's not an equal playing field. So you got to know where you're at. If you're under-prepared or under-equipped and someone has a bigger weapon than you got to go home. You got to stop fighting with people. You have to stop getting in confrontations. I know that it's not sometimes people's fault, but it reminds me of, I have certain friends and family members that they're always yelling at people in cars. And then I turn on the television and I see, this is when I was in LA. They were like, San Bernardino, there's been 3 road rage incidents that ended in gunshots because people argue. They get out of their car. They start having a pissing contest. One of them has a gun. He kills the other guy. Or both of them have a gun and one of them kills each other. Is that right? Of course it's not right. That guy's probably going to go to jail forever. It's not right, but it happens all the time. So it's like, I don't yell at people in the car because I'm not prepared to fight people to the death everywhere I go. Some people are just pissed off all the time and they think that they have no consequences for their anger. But the reality is, if you get pissed off at an old lady, you're going to scare her. If you get pissed off at a young kid, you're going to scare him. If you get pissed off at the wrong person in a road rage incident, you're going to get shot. It doesn't mean it's the right thing to happen, but I think people just wander through life and think that their actions have no consequences. I'm not saying what happened was right. It's not. The news network may get charged. That person may go to jail forever. When it's all said and done, it could be totally unjustified. I understand that people think it is. I don't think it's justified. I think it's an escalation, but I don't think anything these people do are justified. I think they're irrational. You look at the Portland arrest records, these people look like psycho demons. I know that they're not good people, so I don't go to events where there's like a clash. It's like, let's go here and we'll go here and we'll clash. It's like, let's not and say we did, because that's going to end in somebody getting hurt. It's not going to be me. I'm gonna read some comments. Let me know what you guys think. That's my take. I think they need to look at the media. Obviously, this is not going to get covered the same. Right-wingers always get worse treatment in the media. It's not an even playing field. With that being said, I personally think if you reverse the roles and you had the guy shooting Mace and, a Trump supporter shooting him, I think 90% of Trump supporters would justify that use. That's just my opinion. Let me see yours. Someone said, why don't they use blank the first shot? Guys, I love that you guys are challenging me because I kind of want to have this discussion and debate. Someone said, why don't they use blanks? Like, what type of logic is this? And I'm not trying to get mad, Michael. I'm glad you said it. It's like you go to an event, you get in an argument, somebody hits somebody, who knows who's right or wrong. You bring out the mace, they bring out the gun, you fire the mace, he shoots. I don't know which one happened first, but it's like you want them to fire blanks? What sort of fantasy land do you live in? Like, I'm going to show up to a BLM Antifa prayer rally, Trump rally, and I'm like, why didn't they fire blanks at me? It's like, Do you really think people are out here firing blanks? In a perfect world, no one would kill anyone. In a perfect world, we wouldn't have these skirmishes. You know, we would have world peace. But it's like we don't live in that world. So the distance people go to lie to themselves, it's like, you think he's going to shoot a blank? Who's shooting blanks out here? Kyle Rittenhouse didn't shoot a blank. He wasn't trying to. He was in a position where he felt like that was the thing to do to save his life. And then they say he shouldn't have done that. And then I'm not saying these are the exact same situations, but it's like, you think these people are out here firing blanks? I don't understand what world you live in, but I don't know. Someone said no one should have a gun, no one should have Mace, no one should have been there to begin with. That's what I think, Barbara. With Kyle's situation, I think Kyle's made more sense in Wisconsin because he was actually defending a store because they were burning stuff. These pissing contest prayer rallies, it's like, we're going to do a prayer rally, we're going to do a soup drive. Really what you're doing is just you're going looking for trouble. The Trump supporters are going looking for trouble. The BLM are looking for trouble. It's just a bad time. I mean, if you go to these events, to me, I'm an all or nothing type person. So it's like either I'm not going or I'm going knowing I might get killed and I'm going to be prepared. But if I'm prepared, I'm going to be super prepared. If I'm going to go with the angle of being peaceful, I'm not going to, do that much. But I don't know. I think about everything. So I don't just like show up at these events and just start hitting people and macing people and thinking like nothing's going to happen. But I mean, I don't know. Let me see. I'm going to read some. Greg said, they aren't proving any points by attending these protests. If both sides are willing to talk, that's different. But yeah, some people want to talk, some people don't. He said blanks. Yeah. Let me see. Someone said, pay attention. All right, I'm going to read some comments. Let's see. When are people going to realize that we are in a civil war and they're not shooting blanks? Well, here's what I want to say. Because I had a good debate on Twitter. I like it better on here because I could actually like respond in due time. But someone said to me, Anomaly, you don't understand. We're at war. They used that argument. They said, we're at war, Anomaly, and you're defending the liberal. I'm not defending him. I think he should go to court and face a charge possibly like anybody else. I'm not the judge. Here's all I'm saying. It's like, you're the one telling me we're at war. She says, you go to war with a mace when someone else has a gun, then you're not taking the war seriously. So like in your own logical head, it's like, well, you think we're at war, but then you go to a battle underprepared and then shoot off your weapon that's underprepared. This is not equality. I'll never forget when I was younger, some kid, it was actually my friend, he tapped my head and hit my head on a glass wall. He smashed my head into the glass. I took his head and hit it into a brick wall. And he said, ow, that hurt. You hit me harder than I hit you. And I said, yeah. He said, but that wasn't the same. I said, it's not supposed to be the same. This is not an equality contest. I don't go around hitting people. I'm a nice guy. So if you hit me, I'm going to hit you harder. Why? To teach you not to hit me again. That's just that I'm old fashioned. Look when you cross the street, everyone doesn't know anything. You show up to an Antifa Black Lives Matter rally, shit's probably going to go down. If somebody hits you, you're not obliged to hit them exactly equally that they hit you. What world do these people live? Like a boxing match where they're like equally punching? That doesn't happen. I don't operate that way. So maybe it comes off wrong to certain people, but I'm just calling it like I said. And then they're like, he's a MAGA grifter. How am I MAGA grifting? By going against the narrative that most MAGA people, this is the opposite of grifting. This is called losing money. This is called telling the truth, regardless of who it favors. But I don't know. I'll read some comments. Thank you, Peter. Appreciate you. Someone said governmentally what we're looking at is the exact reason we have the Second Amendment. Absolutely. And I personally think this society is too over litigious. There's too many lawyers. Back in the day, it's like if you were a politician that was really horrible, you were getting tar and feathered. I'm not saying I want that to happen, but at the same time, now everybody just hides behind lawyers and hypotheticals. It's like back in the day, you would duel people. If you hated somebody and they hated you, and you both mutually agreed you hated on each other, you would just have a full-fledged duel, and somebody would die. Isn't that what happened to Hamilton? Isn't that the whole plot of the Hamilton, Broadway play off of like the Founding Fathers? I'm not saying, I honestly, I do think we should bring it back. If two people agree, I have no problem with dueling. Because like this game of like pretending like you don't know what's going on, I'm not somebody that seeks violence, but I don't go to these events. I don't know. I avoid them purposely because I understand it's going to be a bad time. And anytime I go, you have agitators, and it's like, it's all energy. So it's like, if you go hard in the paint, you're going to go hard in the paint. If they're going hard, one of you's got to back down. If none of you backs down, it's going to get ugly. If it gets ugly, the person who fires first wins and then maybe goes to jail forever. You know, this, I don't know. This is just how it is. These are like little battles. They show up and they fight each other. I don't know. Someone said these peaceful protests are turning into survival of the fittest, sad but true. Yeah, but some of them are avoidable. Like, I would say, you know, the real reason I say this too is because there is a battle going on. There is, people are out to get you. The news is out to get you. Half the country's out to get. There's people that are burning down churches and there is stuff going on, but there's so much going on. I don't know that we need to add more stuff and then, you know, skew the lines of what's really going on. We have enough to point to. I don't think we have to add any problems, but in some ways it is survival of the fittest. I mean, that's what the world is, but you stand on a highway at 12 o'clock at night, it's like the Darwin Awards. You know, I don't want you to die, but if you're stupid enough to stand on a highway at night and you die, do I feel horrible about it? I don't know. I kind of feel like, who told you to stand there? You know, so you go to someone with a gun and there's fights and then someone pulls out this and he pulls out this and he didn't pull out the thing, but his weapon was weaker, but he shot first. I don't know. I could sit here and pretend like I'm shocked. Like, yes, it's double standard. Yes, it's weird that the media is hiring left-wing little sneaks or something to go around to things. Yes, they should be charged. Yeah, but also, if you want to live, you should be aware of these things and, you know, have self-accountability and self-awareness so you don't have to, your family doesn't have to go to court to decide if you get money after you're dead. You know, that's what I think. But someone said we need to wait till the full story comes out. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm more going off of the logic that people are saying. I can't tell you all the details. I'm trying to be as honest and open-minded about it as possible. I'm just seeing the points people are telling me and kind of rebuttaling the points. And then I have people telling me, Anomaly's defending the left-wing guy. Not really. No, I'm not. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm talking for your own survival. Like, we could go have a Patriot rally here and do all this, but it's like, should we? I don't know. It's up to you guys. I'm just saying what I think. I'm going to read this real quick. Michael said, if Trump wins the election, these situations will happen more often. Prepare yourself and your families. Well, it's deeper than just these situations. It's like the entirety of society. And this is why I don't want to get too sidetracked. God bless this guy and his family, no doubt. But the whole society is rigged against you. Tech is rigged against you. Most jobs are rigged against you. The NBA, NFL, they're all rigging society against you. They're making people hate you. They're pushing so much bad energy in your direction. They're financially trying to destroy you. They have financially, I won't say destroy me because I'm fine, but you know, they're trying to make it so you can't exist in their society. People like Keith Olbermann will say it on television. They want to destroy you. He's like, prosecute Amy Barrett Cohen. What did Amy Coney Barrett do? And Keith Olbermann's a freaking psychopath. But it's like, these things are real. There's no question. But, you know, with that being said, how do we get to a point where it's not happening? If Trump wins or loses, this stuff's going to happen. This is what I personally think. People want this all to go away. I want it to go away. You want it to go away. So people think maybe if Biden just wins, it's going to go away. If Trump wins, it's going to get worse. It's not true. I think these people aren't the types to stop. I think they want you to back down, so you just let them have the power. And you know, they want Trump to back. They want to destroy you until you're like, fine, you take it. But then they're not going to stop. So I think it's going to be bad either way. If Trump wins, though, there's just going to have to be law and order. The police are going to have to do their job. The attorney general is going to have to do his job. Barr, they need to get rid of him and Wray and better people because I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they are doing their job. This stuff needs to be done either way. But yeah, there's going to be some weird moments. But overall, I would say, as long as you don't go to these events, you're mostly fine. If you live in a major city, you know you're more at risk. They're now slowly destroying the suburbs. So there are risks, but it's like we can mitigate some, just to be honest, and also while we work on others. Or we could just go balls to the wall and, you know, I guess clash with people. But to me, it reminds me of like a proxy war of the bankers. Like, no one's winning this. You know, Antifa, Patriots, no one's winning this. The bankers don't care. You're not really threatening the establishment. Like, these are just little proxy wars to make people feel good on both sides. Like, Antifa feels good. The Patriots feel good. I get you want to support the president. They hate you and they want to do whatever they do. I get the thought behind it, but overall it's not, you know, I don't know how much it's moving the needle. But when something like this happens, maybe it will, because now maybe the news network will get sued. I don't know. Read some more comments. Let's see. Someone said, you have such a sound head on your shoulder. Well, thank you. People did not like my take earlier today, but I don't think it came out right because I can't fully explain it. Someone said, I think the only thing that will stop it is a show of force by police or, God forbid, by the citizens. Yeah, no, definitely. There needs to be a strong hand. Lori said, happy birthday, Anomaly. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Someone said, us backing down is what allowed liberal extremism to grow in the first place. We gave up the culture war. No, absolutely. Absolutely. It's just, don't back down. But at the same time, I'm just saying I think bigger than even just like culture war. I'm just talking about pure survival instinct is like, how to act if you go to one of these events and how not to act. But, how do we clean up the house? You got to win it first. And then that's a whole different story. Derek said, honestly, I don't support Republican or Democratic. I mean, they're pretty pathetic on both sides, but, it is what it is. Yeah, thank you, Marie. I appreciate you. Someone said, kidnap Michigan. It's all sketchy. I mean, the media lies about all these events. This is the real problem, and this is why Trump is 100% right. I'm going to say two things that Trump has said recently that he's totally right on. He went on Rush Limbaugh, and he said something along the lines of, first of all, I think 100 million people watched it, or 50 million people. It had a crazy high number. But he said, Democrats are playing a dirty game, and Republicans don't know what's going on. So that's kind of the point I'm trying to make here is like the Democrats are playing a dirty game, but you can't act perpetually surprised by it. I think that's what weirds me out about a lot of Republicans. They act surprised. I can't believe this happened. It's like you go to one of these events. I'm not even remotely surprised it happened. I'm not saying it should have, but this game of being like perpetually shocked. Oh, I can't believe they did that. How could you not realize what's going on at this point? At a certain point, you're partially to blame for acting hysterical all the time. Identify what's going on, and then you have to have a plan. But we can't even get to a plan on the Trump side because everyone's perpetually acting shocked all the time by this stuff. And then they just hyperventilate over like little stuff when they can't really. But you got to identify what's going on. And then once you get to that point, you have to find a way to fight back. Not in the streets with people, but like systemically figure out a way. Trump's been wildly successful at shifting the culture, calling out the media. The media is unsustainable. Not just the fact that they're paying security guards to go to these, skirmishes and make it worse. Just every day they're blasting out nonsense all the time. And we need to get over that. I'm writing a book. It should be out in a month or so about words because they're really good at manipulating words. Illegal alien doesn't matter anymore because they don't want it to. Court packing, what does it mean? They don't care about anything. They're always lying. They're always manipulating words. They're always cheating. They can't stop. But most people don't even see it's happening, and most people can't really effectively call it out. I think Mike Pence did a fantastic job actually against Kamala Harris. He called out all her lies, but if you notice, Mike Pence did it in such a way that he didn't look bad. No one could barely say anything bad about him, but he debunked all her lies in such a nice way. It's something to think about because Trump is kind of meaner and edgier. Pence is like super nice Christian. Both are effective in their own ways, but we need more of that, figuring out how to defeat the narrative and flip the media to the point where they can't control everything. Because if they have so much power where their person or their guy kills somebody on the Trump side and they don't report it, and they don't report 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 things like this, and then 5 months later, God forbid something bad happens, they report that, and then that's the big thing, and you can't really do anything about it because they have so much power. They can make an ant look like a dragon and a dragon look like an ant, and that's what they do all the time. For instance, with Governor Whitmer, oh my God, they're kidnapping me. Oh my God, I'm the innocent victim. She's not the victim. She's been acting like a tyrant this whole year, and that's not to go and they'll say, oh, he radicalized people. No, God bless everybody, but Newsom's acting like a tyrant. She's acting. There's a lot of people, even some could say Trump for the first couple months of the lockdown. Point I'm getting to is, okay, something bad happens to her. Now she's the victim. Now you can't say anything bad about her. But they blamed it on Trump supporters. And you look at these people, they were anti-Trump. A lot of these people had affiliations that were not right-wing. But everybody heard it, and they made the big story about the right wing, even though these people mostly had nothing to do with it. The one guy was a sympathetic Black Lives Matter guy. The one guy actually got, I believe, a pardon from one of the Democrats. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It's like they have their own people attack them, and then they blame Trump supporters. But this is the point I'm getting to. I'm sorry to make it a roundabout, but they have that power now. So it's like we're starting to break it with social media and Facebook. That's why they're taking stuff away. But there is a culture war going on. It's bigger than a little skirmish in Denver, you know, and those are the little things. And God bless people there. I don't want anyone to get hurt. But there needs to be, the media, the way they operate is not sustainable. They just beat down at you and beat down at you and beat down at you. So there's got to be some sort of reversal, because it's not sustainable what they're doing. And the amount of lies and bad energy is so damaging. And you see how much damage they do this year with lockdowns, with coronavirus stuff. They've done exponential damage, because now they've decided on Facebook and on Twitter and YouTube, not only can they not be optimistic, but you can't be optimistic. If you're like, hey, we can beat this, you know, Trump's like, hey, we can beat the coronavirus. They're like, oh my God, Trump doesn't care about it. He's a hoax. He said it's a hoax. They won't stop lying. So it's like, this isn't sustainable. There has to be a real figuring out of how to stop them in one way or another, because I hear what you're saying. There is a culture war, and they have a lot of the tech and things that we use, and they just keep getting more and more tolerant. I'm going to read this. Someone said, Rico Miguel said, how do you preach law and order, then disregard crimes against Dems? Rico, name some crimes against Democrats. Just please name some. Obviously, they exist. I spent a large portion of this kind of talking how I disagree with the right. But let me know what you're talking about, because I don't even know what you're referring to. But obviously, there's all sorts of crimes. All right, I'm going to read this. Someone said, ever notice how we didn't need fact checkers before people actually fact checked on their own? I hear you. Evan Reinhardt, I'm going to read this comment. Very important, brother. He said, the media is going after militias next because they're forming more frequent right now. Evan, this is key, and this is true. And if you notice, Chris Wallace, that little sneaky man, Chris Wallace, or Mike Wallace's father, Chris Wallace, did you notice when he tried to get Trump to condemn militia? I don't think a lot of people realize this, but he said, Trump, can you condemn white supremacists and militias? What? Wait a second, sneaky Chris Wallace. White supremacist and a militia, those are very different things. If you look up the Second Amendment, militias are in there. You have the Second Amendment right to make a militia. The government's always hated militias because militia is a group that forms on the ground that, you know, it's like a community that is supposed to protect against government tyranny, foreign invasion, crime. A militia is a good thing. This is not a bad. This is in the Second Amendment. You know, your right to form a militia. So Chris Wallace tried to get Trump to condemn militias. Like, he tried to get white supremacists and militias. That's like saying, do you condemn Black Lives Matter and free speech? Do you condemn, nuns and Antifa? Do you condemn criminals in Guantanamo Bay who are on death sentence and, law-abiding citizens? What a sneaky little demon that Chris Matthews is, trying to conflate white supremacists with militias. And this is absolutely what they're doing. And you could look at things like Ruby Ridge and before that, I'm trying to think of, not that one, Waco, Texas. The government has always hated militias. So the fact that they're being so tyrannical, the more evil and tyrannical the government gets, the more ticked off people get, the more active militias get. So they're looking, Chris Wallace, all these little media operative demons and all these liberals are trying to get people to conflate militia with white supremacy. And no one did that more obviously. If you go back and look at the tape, sneaky little demon liar, fact check phony Chris Wallace trying to conflate white supremacy with militias. Oh, that's not a little trick? Of course that's a trick. And you ask Chris Wallace, hey, Chris, what do you think about white supremacy? You know what he'll say? He'll say the same thing his father said. He'll say, whoa. I'm not white, I'm Jewish. That's what Chris Wallace will say, because he doesn't consider himself white. So he'll bash a whole other race that he doesn't feel a part of. Ask him about the supremacy of his ethnicity. Then he'll call you an anti-Semite, because if you look at CNN and you look at a lot of major media, such as the Self, a lot of them are not being owned and operated by white people. Some are, but a lot are his ethnicity too. But you can't talk about that. He can only just openly bash your ethnicity and also try to conflate your race to the Second Amendment. What a liar that guy is. It's insane. So no question they're trying to They're trying to get rid of anything that's a threat to their power. I'm just going to break it down for you right now, folks. This is not for the weak of mind. This is not for the weak of mind. Because if you believe the media's lies, everything's racist, everything's sexist, everything's xenophobic, everything's anti-Semitic, it's all, that's what my book's about. These are all words to stop you from understanding what's truly going on. But if you look at everything that the media hates, it's everything that will stand in the way from complete government control of society. That's what they hate. Why do they hate militias? Why are they trying to demonize militias? Because that's your Second Amendment right, and that's something that the country should have. Why are they demonizing white Christian males, the men, the black men, strong men? You know, it needs to be women. You need to be. It's because if you look, which gender votes for Trump more? Which gender votes conservative, anti-big government? Who doesn't want to It's men. It's mostly white men. It's mostly Christian men and women. These are demographics. It's like they say, the black vote goes here. You know, Candace Owens is trying to get the black vote to the conservatives. You know, Van Jones is trying to get them to the liberals. The white vote overwhelmingly votes for Trump, you know, and they hate, oh my God, it's the educated whites who vote Democrat and the uneducated whites who, they know all the demographics and who votes for who. So who do they hate the most? The ones who vote conservative. If they can eliminate that, then they can win the election. If they can eliminate militias, then there's nobody to stand up against them when there's tyranny. So they're trying to pick apart the country using black activism, using fentanyl addicts and people who shoot at police and resist arrest, and they're going to tell you they're Malcolm X and Martin Luther King when you don't even see the video body cam footage, and you don't even know who they are or what they really did. These are the games that they play. It's not to help you. It's not to fix black community. Who runs every major black city? Who's running them right now? It's almost all Democrats. Every bad black area that's suffering the most of them are run by Democrats. And you're going to vote Democrat to fix the problem that Joe Biden did? You hate cops, but you're going to hire a prosecutor and Kamala Harris? Because they think you're stupid, and maybe they're right. I don't know. It's like they play, the people who cry the victim the most are the ones who get fooled the most. The Hasidics vote more conservative because they seem to be a little bit smarter, but most Jews vote Democrat. And who's the one that are treating Jews like World War II? I'm not going to exaggerate, but who's locking down Jews? Who's keeping Jews out of synagogues? Who's trying to force Jews to wear masks? It's Cuomo and de Blasio. So then Jews are going to turn around and vote for Biden. They usually vote demographically 80-75% Democrat. Black people, black America, most of it's run by Democrats. Joe Biden wrote a crime bill. Kamala Harris has been a prosecutor. You hate cops, but you're going to vote for them? This is like peak level mind control. The two groups that will suffer the most under Democrats are going to go and vote for Democrats. And then they bash white supremacy and straight white males because white males and white people overwhelmingly demographically vote for smaller government. It has nothing to do with supremacy. They just use words. It's So what is anti-white supremacy? Giving, CNN and Adam Silver at the NBA all your, all the power? That's going to end white supremacy? Or, well, Karl Marx said if we give them the banks and the communication, then the white supremacy will go away. Karl Marx said that because he wanted control of the banks, and he thought you were stupid enough to think that would somehow end Germany and America. It's like, if you give me all the banking power, the means of communication, and, transport, and we'll just destroy private property, then the world will be a peaceful place. It's like, who reads the Communist Manifesto? This guy's just like a banker liar. It's like, he probably had banker friends that's like, dude, they're going to give us everything, and they think we're going to help that. It's like, you guys got to get a grip. Not you, but other people. All right, let's read some comments. Someone said, what's crazy is some people don't even see it as reality anymore. It's a fantasy. Well, if you look at, and I was going to make a video later. I don't know if I'm going to have time, but if you look at Trump, he has all these rallies. Joe Biden has a rally with Kamala Harris or whatever. No one's there. It's like, it's all in people's heads. People actually like Trump. You could call me a grifter, even though, first of all, I'm not a grifter. Second of all, out of anybody in the Trump movement, look at my track record, look at my videos. I could just sit here and do whatever I want, but I'm out here making some of the best, I'm not bragging, but some of the best coronavirus reporting of the year. I should win a Pulitzer, but instead I get my Facebook monetization taken away. But anyway, the point I'm getting to is at least people who like Trump actually like Trump. People, their whole reality is like a fake, phony reality where they just hate Trump. It's like, so who do you like? They don't even like Kamala or Biden. They don't show up at their events. Why would they like Kamala and Biden? Kamala and Biden are everything that they claimed that Trump was. Every bad thing about black history that they claim that Trump was, That's who Kamala and Biden and the Democratic Party literally is. Yeah, I mean, it's like they're literally mocking you. They're like, so we're going to tell black people that we hate the police, and then we're going to hire a top cop who was like awful. And then we're going to tell them that black people are getting locked up too much, and then we're going to hire the guy who was responsible for a lot of that. I mean, these people are that stupid. Like, that's how they think of you. They're like, well, if we just get LeBron James to say it and Colin Kaepernick, and we'll get all the liberals to do it. It's like they're mocking you. They're making this world that's not real. That's why these people go out and lash out. Their whole world's a lie. They don't have up from down, left from right, and that's why I'm sitting here trying to tell you I don't want somebody to die at a prayer rally. But I'm just being honest, common sense, real life. Don't go to a BLM, Antifa, prayer sort of rally and start problems. And if you do, understand it's going to get real. And if it does get real, don't bring out a lesser weapon I'm just being honest. I can sit here and be like, that's a good idea, but it's really not, And this is the common sense that they don't want people to have. And some people have like zero. Conservatives seem to have more, but it's like, this is real world. This is real life. Like this is not Twitter. Don't stand on a highway at night. That's really dumb. Like, someone should have told you that. Thomas said, personally, the COVID thing's another story. I can't even post articles. I'm getting flagged for NBC articles and CDC articles. I mean, Facebook is so wicked. They're so dishonest. I'm talking to a lawyer. Hopefully they hit me back this week because I'm making some progress. They're not trying to rescind my stuff. They're just trying to block my reach. Whatever. I get it. Let's see. I'm going to read this real quick. Tori Spillman said, what's up, Tori? Tori said, we've been to huge Trump parades in Kansas with no coverage. Yesterday was so patriotic and awesome. I got teary-eyed. That's amazing. And that's where I'm just going to say this. And I think love is more powerful than hate. And I think, truth is more powerful than fiction. So this is why I get so sometimes, I don't even know if it's controversial, but I challenge the right wing. Because to me, the real energy that the right wing has is that truth. When it's real, you want to cry. If you're at an event and it's that real, you want to cry. Like, I almost cried at the RNC thing. And I don't even like the Republican Party. But, what was his name? The Hispanic guy who talked about socialism. It felt so real. I was amped off America. I was like, wow, this guy makes me like something Alvarez. I forget his first name. That was real. So stay in truth and stay in that love. Like, people love Trump. People who love Trump love Trump. People who hate Trump, what do they love? They don't love Biden. They don't love Kamala Harris. So they've become the party of hate. They just hate Trump. And you love Trump. Love is better. They say love Trump's hate. People love Trump. You hate Trump. Love Trump's hate. Trump love. Trump's your Trump hate. And the same with truth. It's like Trump has been so powerful. He's not just been powerful. Yes, he's a billionaire. Yes, he's funny. These are all important things. He's powerful because he's honest. He stepped on that stage with Jeb Bush and he made fun of him. And he said, they're only booing me because they're all your special interests. Who's ever said that in a debate? Why was that so powerful? Because it's so real. You're looking for something real. I want to vote for the president. They're all fake. And Trump gets up there and he's like a real guy making real mistakes, but mostly just being really funny and really honest. So stay in that, Maximo Alvarez, exactly. So I think sometimes people get so partisan, like I explained with the Ilhan Omar free speech stuff. I don't like Ilhan Omar, but sometimes you get so emotional because you love Trump and you love Trump supporters that you become a liar. And I'm not saying it happens all the time, but over this, people are like, but he shouldn't have done this. He shouldn't. I'm like, guys, you know that's not right, which is fine. But stay in truth. If you stay in truth, to me, that's the most powerful thing. Once you become a liar and you lose people's trust and you lose, in my opinion, the real moral high ground, not the fake moral high ground that CNN pretends they have, the real moral high ground. I don't care what people think. I don't care what they say. I don't care how many people I piss off on either side. I know what's right is right. To me, that's where the real power comes from. So it's a beautiful thing when it's real, when it's true, and when it's not out of hate. But if you start, it's like if you go to a rally, like I remember there were Trump supporters who shot paintball guns at Antifa the one time. Now you're doing something that's wrong. You could say it's funny or something, but it's like now if you get arrested, I don't feel bad for you, because it's like we want to be in the right. You could defend yourself, but at the same time, once you become the agitator, you're not above reproach, just like they're not above reproach. And I think that's what's missing in this country is like everyone thinks they're above reproach. Well, I'm a liberal, so I'm so much better than middle. No, you're not. The liberals have become the worst in the country because they're always just assuming they're so much smarter, they're so much better, they're so much more moral, but they have no capacity to tell the truth anymore. It's all just like hypocrisy. That's what makes you a hypocrite, when you expect everyone else to do stuff that you don't do, and your whole life revolves around I'm going to stop racism. You're the most racist one. Your worst enemy is someone that's exactly like you. I don't like you, but I don't act like you. You act like you, and you try to stop everyone. Well, look at that guy. It's like he's acting like you're acting. Your whole life is race-based. You have race-based organizations. You got hired because of your race, and your job is to stop other people from doing that. You're a hypocrite. So on the right wing, I think it's easy to point to others and be like, look at what they're doing. But so many get lost in the sauce because then they play this game of like, oh, I must be better than the liberal, or, it's like, just don't be a hypocrite, because that's how you lose your free speech. That's how you lose the high ground of people believing you. And eventually, I think that's how you lose more than that. Let's read this. Someone said cookie color politicians have lost their power. And that's why that's why they have to cut my reach out. Well, once again, like Trump, this is why I don't really get mad when Trump talks about himself. If Trump doesn't talk about himself, they don't report it. He has to write his own history. When you look at the history books, they're not going to tell the truth about Trump. You need to watch his speeches and listen to people like me or other people who actually accurately stated what he did. That's why I talk about myself. I don't have articles, thank God, because the media is so fake. God knows what they'd write about me, but I don't have art. Their history of me is trying to destroy what I've made. 600 million views. I was bigger than all of their news stations on Facebook. I probably still am, even though they're cutting my reach. I'm still getting better engagement. But they have to steal that because no one likes their bullshit. They don't like cookie-cutter politicians. They don't like cookie-cutter news hosts. They don't need somebody to sit in a suit and lie to them. You can feel it when it's real, when it makes sense, when it sounds like somebody that you'd actually want to sit down with. The news is full of piece-of-shit people. They do anything for money. They'll play both sides. They'll lie, not like objectively, like just who's giving me money? What's profitable to say right now? So that's why they have to steal and take from everybody else. They are not good enough, or they're not honest enough, and they want to just bash everybody else that is. So it's annoying when it affects you. I don't blame Trump. I'm a nice guy, but it's like you get hit a million times. What are you going to do? Just roll over? I don't know. Trump and Pence are really a great combo because Pence dissected Kamala with just like Christian love. It was amazing. I was like, dang, that was better than Trump's debate. And I like the way Trump debates a lot of times. Not that time so much, but overall, I was like, man, that's a good combo. And that shows you two different ways to do it, depending who you are. It's like everyone's not Trump, everyone's not Pence, but they have like alternate styles. And, some can backfire, but mostly you could be effective in different ways. Can I talk about Yelp? I have a whole video on Yelp. You could scroll back or go to my YouTube channel. I did a whole video on it, so I don't want to cover it again. I'm going to read this real quick. Sean said, saying it's Trump's fault for all the death is like saying it's the parents' fault. Their 20-year-olds getting pregnant. Interesting analogy, but they're such liars. It's insane. If Obama was president, okay, I would never blame Obama for every COVID-19 death. I'd be doing the same thing I'm doing today. I'm not buying all the hype. I think they're overcounting. Look at how they're counting cases. Look at how they're counting deaths. I'd do the same thing. They are trying to blame Trump for every COVID-19 death. Do these people believe themselves? It's this type of stuff where you got to look and be like, do you think they really like believe themselves? Like Trump killed everybody, 200,000 people. What's your plan? This is so obvious why they did this. And you can't say it because they're going to act like it's spontaneous. But psychologically, when you're an incumbent president, this is just like politics 101. When you're the incumbent, which means you're going back into office, if things are good, you don't lose. If the economy's booming, you don't lose. If your area's doing great, it's hard to beat somebody who's doing a good job. Trump was doing a good job. Everyone knew it. So the only way to take Trump down was to destroy the economy. The only way to destroy the economy was with COVID-19. How else could you destroy a perfect economy? There is no way besides and then the virus comes, and now his economy's destroyed. And now you have a whole narrative that you're painting that's gloomy. How do you paint something bad when everybody's living great? Now it's all bad. Now what is every debate? What does little sneaky Chris Wallace and all these other operatives do? They paint this evil picture. Like even if I was a debater, I like Trump more than Biden, but if I was the debate moderator and America trusted me, I would do an honest debate, much more honest than Chris Wallace. But he starts off and paints this whole story, 200,000 dead. It's like this whole story of like Trump killed all these people. Trump did it. This is not moderating. This is painting a story. But they needed a story to paint. So these are the games that they play. Trump killed 200,000 people. They just keep saying it and saying it and saying it. But psychologically, this is taking away from Trump, you know? Instead of being like, look at all the good things I did, he can't even talk about all the good things he did. I mean, has he talked about the North Korea stuff? That's huge. North Korea is huge. Hasn't been talked about. Did they talk about ending ISIS? That's huge. No. The peace deals in the Middle East, I don't know how well they're working, but better than Obama. There's 50,000 things that Trump's done. Like, literally, he's accomplished more than any other president. And then you could complain about what he's done, but they have to paint this narrative of incumbent bad. It's so bad, I'll make it better. How will you make it better, Joe? They don't have to explain. They just hope people are brainwashed enough to think, because this is how people operate, well, if it's good, I'll vote for Trump. If it's bad, I'll vote for the other guy. So they're saying it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. Vote for the other guy. What's the other guy going to do? They don't have a plan. Joe Biden's probably not even going to last in the White House for a year if he wins. It's going to be President Kamala. They have no plan. Their plan is attain power by any means necessary. And this year, the entire theme of the year was any means necessary. Everything happened. Anything that could happen to go against Trump happened, and now they're throwing it all in his face. It's very tricky. Do I think Disneyland will open in California after the election? I don't know what these liberals are doing. There's multiple angles to it. Do they want to win the election? Yes, but I think they don't know how to run anything. They're so used to lying. They're so used to getting covered up by the media. I should play a clip now, but Bill Maher, who isn't annoying, but he has his moments, he questioned Adam Schiff, and he said, Adam Schiff, I love Los Angeles, California. It's paradise, but everybody's leaving. He said there's a mass exodus. Taxes are too high. Businesses are leaving. This state is falling apart. And Adam Schiff barely knew what to say. You know why? Because Adam Schiff never has to answer that question. California has one of the biggest economies, has the most poverty, has one of the shittiest homeless problems, has one of the biggest exodus, has terrible tax plans. Everything about California is being mismanaged. It's maybe the best real estate in the country with the worst policies. It should be a place that everyone wants to go. California is awesome. There's a reason that I've lived there for so long. Beautiful weather, beaches, it's great. So they're blowing some of the best real estate in the country, but he doesn't even know how to answer that because he never has to answer it. Who, besides Bill Maher one time, has ever questioned Adam Schiff? All they do is hide behind these media operatives. They throw everything at Trump and just hope it's like constant wizardry. These people are literally demons, just hopping from lie to fear to fear. They literally need to go to hell. Literally. Like, I don't even have anything else bad to say about them. It's like, listen, like, no, they belong literally in hell. Like, they're going to burn in hell for eternity. They're literal demons. And I'm not saying that in a, I pray for them that they stop being so evil, but if you lie, create fear, destroy millions of lives, like, where do you think you're going? I don't understand where you think you're going. But I'm going to read some stuff. Let me see. Samantha said you're a very smart guy. Well, thank you. Need to start wake up your followers. I mean, you could try to wake them up in the comments. I don't know what you're talking about, but you could say what you want. All right, let's see. Stacy said, wish you could take this on tour. Maybe one day, Stacy, maybe one day. But the COVID stuff is kind of screwing up the whole country. Last year I did a show. It was fantastic. I did a lot of concerts. A lot of people don't even know because I don't talk about it, but I do hip-hop music as well. And I have a song with a pretty big band that's on tour, so I've done a few shows I did Sturgis with a couple thousand people. I've done a few shows over the last year with thousands of people, so I rap in front of people. I could do a whole speaking tour or do some sort of thing like that. But this year has kind of slowed down any sort of live thing. I'm actually very blessed where I did very well this year until they stole my stuff, but I'm still going to do well. But anyway, I've been able to capitalize on this year because I work from my computer as well. But as far as live events, they've really put a hindrance to that with this year. But maybe next year I'll look into that. I'm very fortunate. I'm very grateful. And, I'm at a point now where I have 2 semi-offers on the table to be an editor for a magazine and also possibly have my own news station or something on Newsmax. So we'll see what happens. I'll see what the next move is. But I assume, it's my 31st birthday. I'm about to turn 31 in an hour. First I want to enjoy my day. I'll get back to doing videos probably on Tuesday or Wednesday. Sorry about the delay, but you know, I'm just trying to stay healthy and stay happy. Hopefully the future is bright. That's all you could ask for, but I'm trying to take it as it comes. But this has been a very blessed year overall. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to your support. Thanks for sharing and watching and commenting. Let me see. Corey Witt said, "You're one of the few people that some libs will listen to." I hope so. I mean, I'm just calling it like I see it. I can't really put a finger on what people do or don't want anymore. So what I think is great, some other people think is terrible. So it's hard to really put a finger on what's hitting who. Someone said if we vote red against the board, this can change. I hope it's a blowout. Personally, I hope it's just a massive blowout. The tech companies, the media, the celebrities, they need to lose really badly. Like, they're so bad. They're almost worse than the politicians. Hold on, I'm gonna just switch my. Someone said, I didn't know you did music till Sturgis. Yeah, I don't talk about it that much because I like music, and honestly, I could probably get millions of streams if I did it more, but I love doing the videos. I really like this. When I did music, when I started rapping, I always felt like a messenger. I never wanted to talk about cars and clothes. Even now, I don't need anything. I like what I'm doing. I don't need fame. I already walk down the streets. People recognize me almost everywhere I go. I don't desire a music career. I like the fact that I'm able to get my message out clearly. I don't need to even rap. I do rap. I have a music video coming out, but I don't even like talk about it all the time. I don't promote it that much because I have millions of streams and stuff, but you know, and I do shows in front of thousands of people sometimes, but I love the news stuff. It's not like I'm not doing news to get people to listen to my music. I did this because I was passionate about it and it took off and I enjoy it. Even more than music, really. I don't like to record. I love live shows. Live shows are incredible, the best. But I don't like recording, really. I don't like mixing, mastering. It's annoying. I like making videos. I like talking to the people. It's a better time. Thank you. Happy birthday wishes. Appreciate you. Sam said, thank you for being a positive voice against corruption. Thank you, Sam. Endless lawsuits if Trump wins. The whole world, one nation under lawsuits. This whole world is too litigious. I have no desire to ever sue anyone, but Facebook is just being so unfair to me. But it's like people sue too much nowadays. Everything's a lawsuit. So they're suing, he's suing. Unfortunately, that's just the world we live in. That's why I want to bring back dueling. I don't want people to die, but I do think that if two people want to fight to the death, I think they have every right to do it. I don't know what the law is on that. Don't listen to me. I'm just saying, you know, it's like everything, sue. It's like, let's bring back the duel. Alexander Hamilton and Burr. What was the name? Aaron Burr. Let's bring the duel back. I don't know. Put it on television. Make it like UFC or something. If I were president, build a new arena. Who's building anything nice anymore except for Kanye West and like, you know, a few architects? Like, let's build a Coliseum and bring back the duel. That's what I would do. But that's why I don't run for office. I don't think you could say that. I'd get in trouble. I'm going to read this. Let me see. Mikey Richardson. Do you think it's going to get worse between the two parties, or do you think there's a chance that it could be resolved without escalating violence? I think it'll be fine. I think it always seems really bad. I mean, I'm sure it is really bad, but like, I don't know. I think it's not a big deal. I just think eventually there's going to have to be a really strong leader. Like Trump is somewhat that, but I think he can accomplish even more, and he needs even more help. I don't even want to put it on him. Barr, he needs help on that end, and then also on our end. It needs to be a group effort. So, I think we can get to a point where it's chiller. But it's going to take a lot of strong people and a lot of smart people and a lot of hardworking people to make a lot of big moves and really convince people what's right and what's wrong. Because if we lose that sense, then it's going to be tough. But I'm optimistic. I don't know why, but I am. Let me see. Ken Forbes said, my 16-year-old freaked out when he saw you stream and watching it. He knows your music. That's amazing. Yeah, but before I even did that, thank you, Ken. God bless your family. Before I did the streams, I was actually pretty well known in underground rap. I did ciphers. I had a couple million views on YouTube and stuff. I turned down a few deals with companies and stuff. So I was somewhat known. And I have some songs that are somewhat big, but I don't know. I loved music my whole life, but I like this more. And also, it makes me reflect on my music, because when I was young, I had some real lyrics, but then I also said some stupid stuff. So it's like certain songs that I wrote even like 2 years ago, certain lyrics that I wrote, I'm like, why would I write that? And I think things are bigger now. Like now I get messages where people say, my son, like you said, your son likes your music. My 14-year-old listens to your stream. I think a lot of my content's probably adult content. Your kids shouldn't listen to it as far as the politics, but I don't know. That's just the internet world. So it makes me think about other things I said, what I want to say now. I think I'm more wholesome now. So songs and stuff I write now probably have an even better message. When you're 22, 23, 24, you know, different things are going through your head. I'm going to read this. Destiny said, do you feel like you've lost your freedom of speech? You seem like it. No, I mean, I say what I want, but you have to understand, Facebook, I don't even want to say the amount, but the amount of money that Facebook has basically slashed me from being able to make is so high, it's disgusting. But they slashed it over a lie. Like, I know the situation. It's not even like they can't even tangibly say what I did wrong because I didn't do anything wrong. They lied about what I said and then attacked the lie that I never said. And they know that they did it because it's not hard to see. I posted an NBC News article and a CDC quote from Ron DeSantis, and they said that violated the CDC's rules. They're so fake, it's insane. So I don't know if you'd call that not free speech, but do you have the freedom of speech in this country? Somewhat, maybe enough to not get arrested for it. You can get arrested in Germany. If you question the wrong part of history, they'll throw you in jail. There's an elderly Jewish woman in jail because she questions one part of history. I'm not saying you have to agree with it. You don't, but it's like people question my history all the time. Does it bother me? Not really. I'm just used to people being stupid now, so it's like it is what it is. But like, you know, there's like literally you can go to jail. That doesn't happen in America yet, but you could lose your job, you could lose your money, you could be threatened, or I don't know. You know, these are the things where it's like, is free speech in America? It's pretty bad. Social media, it's freaking horrible what they're doing, but still better than most countries as far as our law. But the tech companies in our country are perhaps even worse than like other countries. The tech companies need to be reeled in. They control most of the public forums, and they're like authoritarian. So I don't know if that's a long-winded answer, but do I have freedom of speech? In some ways, I'm blessed. I have more than other countries. In other ways, I'm not free. There's certain things, if I said, speech comes with consequences. There's, you know, circles I've been blacklisted from for saying certain things, and it is what it is. I don't really care. Can your sponsors throw a fit for you somehow? I don't have sponsors. I mean, there's moves I can make. Sorry, I just got to switch up. My back is hurting, but I don't really have sponsors. I'm working on talking to a lawyer. I'll figure it out. I'm going to read this real quick. Hold up. Gene said they fake checked John Stossel. He has a great video on it. They're insane. I can make another video. I've just been busy. I've had a great week. I've seen my whole family. I saw, you know, I don't want to get into it, but I saw everybody. I saw my grandma. I had 2, 3. I flew back to where I'm from and just saw everybody and hung out. So, I have videos on videos I want to make. I just haven't done it, but I don't regret it. I feel like I had a great time and did important things. Have I thought about doing text alerts from your lives? I don't know. I could. Sorry, my light went off. All right, I'm going to stay for a few more minutes, then I'm going to take off. Brooke, thank you. Appreciate you. The Lincoln group was on 60 Minutes, and they're scary. These are the biggest liars, guys. These are neocon, like Republican operatives who never, like there's people who play both sides. And the people who play both sides, they hate Trump. So it's like the Republican Project or the Lincoln Project, they're the sneakiest liars ever. Like, these are not good people. Even progressives like Glenn Greenwald, they know that too. There's some good left-wingers who are pretty principled, and they know that they're full of, you know what. All right, a few more comments. I have a Parler. I have a Parler. You can follow me on Parler Dream Rare. Let me see. Kathleen said, I just bought one of your new shirts. I like the free What does it say? Free think shirt. Make America Debate Again. It would be a good shirt. Yeah, I have a Make America Debate Again design. I just haven't put it on a shirt yet. I'm going to read this. Ted Cruz on Levin said 2 Sundays ago, the Dems already tried to make political speech illegal. He said they fought it out on the issue already. They did an attack on the First Amendment. No question. They don't like free speech. What is Wimkin? I don't know what that is. All right, 2 more questions and we'll roll out. Appreciate you guys. God bless you. Have a good day. And once again, once it hits 12 o'clock midnight, it's my birthday, October 12th. So thank you to everybody wishing me a happy birthday. Might drop a video tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. Thank you, Judy. I appreciate it. Fox was being pretty negative about Trump tonight, said Sandra. Fox kind of sucks. I don't know. If Newsmax gives me a deal, we could corner the market. Like, I'm not trying to talk Newsmax up, but we didn't even get the contract done, but I might need a raise already. I need another raise on top of my raise. I'm just kidding. But yeah, if Newsmax hires me, we could really take over the market because Fox is really going down the drain. They got Donna Brazile, Juan Williams. They suck. I was watching it before. It's like, it's not even like I want both sides, but they just get the worst leftists. Like Donna Brazile is just horrible. It's like half of Fox is like unwatchable. Tucker Carlson's awesome. Laura's cool. Some of these other people, not so much. Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate you. Do you think we'll have the final decision on Election Day? I think it'll work out. I hope it works out. I'm not really good. I mean, certain things I have good vision and I can see things years ahead. The election thing, every time I predict an election, I get it wrong. I'm not a pollster, so I can't even pretend like I know what's going to happen. Trump could win by a landslide. You know what I'm saying? He could lose. It could take 3 weeks and flip blue. I think he's going to win. I hope he wins. That's what I'm putting out, but I can't lie to you and say I know what's going to happen. Because I have no idea what's going on. They've thrown every trick in the book, and it's just a confusing year. So it's like, I pray that he wins. I hope it's such a red wave that they all shit their, you know what, excuse me. But someone said Fox has controlled opposition, in my opinion. There's certain things. I'll tell you what, I don't know how it works because I don't censor myself, but I've seen people do things that I didn't quite like, and I work by myself, so I don't really care. You get what I'm saying? I don't know what people are doing because I just do my own thing, but I think there's certain things, and like you get to certain groups like Fox, there's other groups, you know, and you get to certain places where they have certain money, and like it's a whole different world. Like politics is a weird world, so they have certain no-nos, you know, like I like Tucker. I think Tucker does good work, but I like you. I'm an internet kid. I like YouTube. I like BitChute. I like hearing the videos they don't want me to hear. You know, besides Tucker, I don't really watch TV. I'm not impressed with what I hear. Every now and then Bill Maher says something honest, but he's kind of a sneaky guy as well, but you know, he has his moments, but like I don't really like him because he wanted the economy to crash because of Trump. But, you know, I like the things that they don't want people to hear, where corporate TV seems like it's more controlled. If Newsmax gives me a deal, though, that's not going to be controlled. And I'm not just saying that. I'm not controllable, so I'm not going to sign a contract that makes me do something. I'm only signing if they let me do my own thing. If Newsmax chooses to air whatever I say on television, that's pretty cool. You know, that's trustworthy. I'll let you guys know, though. Because I don't have an off button, so I'm not really one to not say things. I think they're open. What's my plan for my birthday? I don't have big plans. I had a fantastic 2 weeks. I saw most of my family. I spent more time with them than I have in a while because this COVID year was weird. People in my family didn't want to see me. They're like, don't come here, don't get me COVID. So not that I ever had it, but I got to see everybody. I hung out for a long time with the people I love. So tomorrow I'm just going to hang out with my friend, probably do a video. But I'm gearing up to go back to my apartment and get stuff done. So not too much. I already had a great birthday 2 weeks. I'll probably just hang out and I don't know, eat lunch. All right, last comment, and then we're out. Someone said Bill Maher wanted a recession to get him out of office. You know, I know. He's a guy, I heard him on Joe Rogan. I got to go after this, but on Joe Rogan, he was very honest, where it's like you realize when you hear him on Joe Rogan being honest, you realize he knows what he's doing, where it's like he plays both sides. But, you know, that what he said about Trump, that was horrible, like wanting the economy to crash. But then he'll go and question Adam Schiff and say, like, you know, why is California falling apart? At a certain point, if you're Bill Maher and you live in California, you know it's the Democrats destroying it. So it's like at a certain point, either you're going to lie yourself and destroy your entire state, or you're going to tell the truth. But these people are so wishy-washy, where it's like, you know, you really respect the celebrities like a Kanye or whoever who just goes all out. It's not popular, but it's like, you know it's right. And if you know it's right, there's no sense of like covering it up so people don't get mad. They're out of control. They're such liars, and they're destroying Cali. But thank you, Peter from Alaska. All right, I'm out, guys. It's officially my birthday at 12 o'clock. Appreciate all the birthday wishes. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America. God bless the world. I'm going to have a good, happy birthday, and I'll get back to more videos soon. I won't slow down. In fact, I might speed up. But I'll let you guys know later this week, but I'm actually doing something else in 2 weeks. So it's been a crazy month. But overall, it's been a blessing. It's not like I'm out doing crazy stuff. I'm doing some important things. So life is good. God is great. Appreciate you guys. Have a good day. I'll be back soon.